Yeah,
Uh,
I'm more specific in Patagonia. So Neuquén is part of Patagonia. It's in the south of Argentina at the foothills of the Andes. Thank you for this invitation.
it's
It's amazing,
beautiful.
this festival. Yeah. Well, I always listen to instrumental music while working, and music without the voiceover. And I heard this song from an Uruguayan musician called Luciano Superville. And suddenly my mind starts to imagine these shapes in motion. So the idea was to do this form follow music thing. Um, so when I have to find free time between projects, and I did some exploration, creating a lot of paper shapes, paper cutouts, and then made a lot of compositions and searching for connection with them. Here are some of them. I don't know if you can see these kind of paper shapes. I also work in commercial and advertising with this shape. So maybe one paper shape could be in 2 or 3 projects of mine. Kind of toolkit. I love to cut out shapes and then cut them with the pen tool in Photoshop with ton of notes to maintain these irregularities of the paper. Now, when you cut it out with the scissors, or I have other tools. This kind is rounded scissors, and this one is like you are drawing in the paper. So the you have ton of tools to create shapes. So when then of that, I scanned them and cut them in Photoshop, and then I animated in After Effects. So it's a mix of analog shapes with a digital animation, and also trying to reflect an stop motion sensation. So it's digitally with a stop motion feel. I animated around 20 loops cycles where the first and the last frame were the same. And in this way, all loops can be connected. And then I assigned each loop with a different section of the song. So when a particular section of the song is playing, I use loop, I don't know, number 1, and so on. So this song has an structure. So with this loop, maybe I use the same at the end, because the end is similar to the beginning of the song. A song has an structure like a short film, I guess. It has its high points, maybe before the end. So I have these 20 loops and combine them with the music. The most difficult thing was I have some shapes always moving with the background music. It's the music of the piano, like a loop in the background, and I have these paper shapes moving. And then when the music changes, I have to combine these 2 moments. It's difficult to explain. You always see this animation related to the music in the background, and these new shapes affect this animation. But you will see always everything moving. And okay, well, I also had to contact this musician from Uruguay. It was a difficult thing too, because I animated more, I don't remember, 50% of the song, and sent him almost every day. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this on social media. So when he saw it, he loved it and wanted to make a video clip with this, and put me in contact with the record company. And everything went well until they asked me to something like, "Hey, when are we going to see the musician playing the piano? Now, this is abstract art." So I was a little disappointed, and talking again with the musician, we ended up saving the project and making these short film formats. So this was a little of the process of doing it. We have here. I love the when it's not a common paper, from like cartulina. I don't know in English. My commercial work is also working with cutouts. So when it's possible, I always try to push the client to use cutouts, but But yes, I always it's it took me ton of time to cut them out in Photoshop because um, I use the pen tool with ton of nodes. I go very slowly to maintain these irregularities. I use the negative and the positive. I started with the square of a rectangle and I use the negative and the positive. This is if you make a circle with paper, you have two shapes, the positive and the negative. If you make it in the computer, you have only the circle. And as other people just said, I used to have difficulties with some festival because I was participating in the experimental section and competing with character-driven short films, and these kinds of abstract art in motion is difficult to find, and this is why I think this your festival is a great place for this.